Welcome everyone. This is our next trip here in Canberra, which is new to us as well, because we are at Lanyon Homestead, and I will be really curious what we can see. The whole, without a tour guide, it is actually free, the garden. To go inside the house, you might need to pay, but $12 for an adult and $10 for a concession, which is really not that big of money, but I will get more information as we get near the entrance, and also to see around. The garden has actually a lot of varieties of flowers, such as roses, herb garden, and some pines as well. So I will be really curious what we can find. And as you can see, so earlier this week we were in Cairns in the 30 degrees. Now we are back in the 20 degrees. So these are the herb gardens. As you can see, a lot of pumpkins, paprikas, maybe some tomatoes as well, and some other herbs for cooking. And then you can enjoy the views of the mountains, as well as the lot of plants. So there are some trees. Some of them are unknown to us. That was the garden, and then those are the buildings that you might visit for free. Yeah, so it is not really huge, but it is actually really good to just come out. Like, it is 30 minutes from Woden, and then just enjoy your day here. So all of these buildings were used here, I don't know how many years ago. So after reaching the end of the garden area, we can now see the buildings, which I still don't know which of them is open, which are not. So yeah, but we try to show you every building that we can actually access. Yeah, so this is the first house that is open. This is some kind of a kitchen area, as I can see, and it is really cold. Yeah. And this is the bathroom, as I can see. Yeah, so people would actually wash dishes here. Yeah, wash dishes here. And also some clothes, as I would think. Yeah, and this is the bedroom. Yeah, I can see that there is like a power outlet, which I don't think that it was actually available at that time. It was built during the 1800s. Yeah, so I don't think that at that time power or electricity was available. Yeah. Look at all of these beautiful plates. Yeah, so this is the kitchen area, the 1860s. Yeah. So after reading through that sign, I've actually learned something new. For example, that this is the kitchen area, which is separated from the main homestead area, because here in Australia is like everybody is afraid of the fire. To prevent any fire, they have actually built another building just for the kitchen area, where also the cook can, the chef could actually sleep, and the chef would actually bring any food to the main homestead area, which by the time it would be cold, since heating was not available in these old houses, but locals could live with that. This is the cool room. As you can see, like there are some vines, some machines or that you can actually use, that people use to make butter without any electricity. And then we have another floor behind under us with also some winery. Yeah, so it is actually really, really cool to learn something from Australia. So these are the photos of the Cunningham family, which lived here from 1859. All of these pictures are from the 18s and 19s. So it is really cool to actually learn more about this homestead. Yeah, so it is a bit small, but for the little exhibition, it's actually really good, and you can actually read from life at Lanyon, War and Empire, and also the Cunningham family at Lanyon Homestead. Yeah, so this was some kind of warehouse for they had some fields, and they would actually put everything here. They would actually store some horses and farm machines here. There are a lot of horse equipments here. Everybody here loves kangaroos and eating and feeding them. There are more machines and some other storing places where you can store flour maybe, or corns. This is the wool press. So Canberra, before Canberra became the capital of Australia, there were a lot of sheep hereby, of sheep farms, and that's why the wool production here was really high. And this place was also not an exception for sheep and making wool. Look at all of these old furnitures, even iron. So these are all really Like there was also some exhibition here with some old furnitures and rugs. Yeah, so a really cool place. There are also some farm equipments here that were used by horses or later on tractors. Yeah, so and the sun is shining, no clouds. There are some, like towards us, there are some like place where the horses slept. And then soon go back to the main homestead and also look around at other buildings. So there are some other farm equipments here. Yeah, so it is not really huge, but also not really small. So like, if you want to explore everything without any tour, I think 30 minutes or maximum 1 hour, you can actually do all of that. To actually walk around every part of this homestead and learn more about this homestead and enjoy some quality time outside, far from the city. So these are also places where animals could sleep, such as sheep, cows, and other important big animals, not like chicken, who needed these kind of houses to where they can actually sleep. Yeah, so yeah, so there are some bird chirping, and also it is still peaceful. So when people are actually thinking about the ACT, the Austrian Capital Territory, they are actually mainly focusing on Canberra, but the ACT is actually much bigger, including the Tidbinbilla hills, which is a hill that you could see, and you can still see in the background. And then near Queanbeyan, which is New South Wales, there is actually a small place called Oaks Estate, which is still part of the ACT. And also in the north, there is like a small village called Hall, which is still part of the ACT. And after that, New South Wales from every direction is surrounding ACT. So similar like Vatican or San Marino, like ACT is a small territory which is inside of a bigger state. And I have to, so people are actually thinking of Australia as like there are states like in the US, and they are true, but also not true at the same time. So Australia's states: New South Wales, Tasmania, South Australia, Western Australia, and Queensland. These are all states. There are two territories, Northern Territory and the Australian Capital Territory. So they cannot, so states have more priority than in changing the rules than the territories. But the Australian Capital Territory became a territory because the United Australia, after the UK left, they decided that there needs to be a state and a city where it will govern whole Australia, so not just the states, because they could actually have their own rules, and it was a bit hard for them to actually make rule for whole Australia. That's why they have decided to make Austrian Capital Territory and make Canberra the capital of Australia, since there are the government buildings here, and the ACT is responsible for making federal rules. That's why the prime ministers of every state is here in the parliament. And yeah, so mostly this is the story of Austrian Capital Territory. Northern Territory was created because South Australia decided that there is nothing except Uluru, since that is mostly the outback area. So South Australia is actually gave that part a new territory called Northern Territory, capital Darwin, including Uluru. And yeah, so these are the two territories' story. So look at all of these big trees, and in the background there is the main homestead area. Yeah, so this is the garden area, which is not too big, but there are a lot of trees, cooking, flowers or plants, not trees, and all of these lovely colored flowers, including lavender. Yeah, so actually, for these to actually see these kind of colors, you need actually a sunny day, because if it is not sunny, because if it is not sunny, then you will not see these beautiful flowers in these kind of colors, like the really bright purple, pink, white, red. And because it is sunny, you can actually see all of the colors. But if it would be a cloudy day, then you wouldn't actually see these you might see the colors, but not in this beautiful form. So, a good advice, if you're coming here, start with the shop, which gives you a free map and also the locations of this homestead. The main homestead area is accessible for tours only, which is a bit sad, but looking through windows you can actually see most of the places, rooms of the main homestead area. So yeah, so if you are coming here, start with the shop. They give you a free map, and then you can actually track where you are, because some places don't write anything out, and the map actually writes all of the points. And there are 12 points, including the main homestead area, but each of them are really well explained here. So yeah, so if you're coming here, start with the shop, and then you can walk around, so you know what we have seen already. So this is the dining area with a really beautiful fireplace, really beautiful really big black table, and yeah, so it is really beautiful. This is like a tea room with chess on the table, with a couch here, so really beautiful. And also the veranda part of this homestead is really beautiful, and it is actually really big. So that's the end with this sunbed. So you can actually have a better view from here. with the tea room, chess, and also the main dining area. Also, this couch is really beautiful, and you can't sit on it. So they even say it here that please do not sit on it. Yeah, so there is actually a piano there. Also, I think the chessboard is somewhere here as well. So this might be like living room. There are some knitting that the people was somebody was knitting here back then. There are also like a doll there. So yeah, and this is the bedroom. Like it has really big bed. I can't even know how people could actually step on it. They also step down. So these are the areas that you can actually visit for free through Windows. Also, this sunbed is really old and unique. I've not seen a sunbed like this. And then some chairs here. And the main door with a rug on it. A really beautiful gate to say that you are at home. Yeah, so I can't really imagine. I can actually imagine how good it was to actually live here. It might be sometimes it would be boring, like because people like family members would visit, but not every time. And then also like you would just go to the gardens or sit on the veranda, but then nothing else. So yeah, so it would be a bit boring to actually stay here for years or stay here for your whole life. But altogether, it was a really good experience to actually learn more about how people lived here in this region. Now you can enjoy some beautiful, really beautiful sounds of the birds. Yeah, so every bar or every beach here in Australia has this sign what warnings can be seen. Can this beach have, and every beach has at least one bathroom, if not more, but at least one is always there. At least one barbecue area is always here. So, and I have seen pictures that in Singapore you can actually find similar ones. So in Singapore there are also like these barbecues that you can use for free. And there are benches so you can actually eat here. So you can cook here and eat here as well. And then that bridge is the Tharva bridge, which is only a one-way bridge, and maximum speed on that is 20 kilometers per hour. Yeah, so it is actually really good to actually enjoy your time here as well. So yeah, so these are the barbecues, public places. They are actually always free. Yeah, so this is the Tharva. So this is the Tharva River, I think, or river. Yeah, there was actually not long ago, like several months ago, that there was a really big rain coming here, and from the Tidbinbille mountain range, lot of water came, and all of these river, the Mononglu River, which is I think the same, yeah, so this is the Mononglu River. So this river was actually was flooded this, so it got higher. It was not flooding this area, but because of the lot of rain that came from the mountain, they actually got like some bacteria. So the ACT parks actually said that they are not recommending to swim at any rivers due to the bacteria that can be presented in this river because of that lot of rain came from the mountains, which is I think really good to actually update people so they know that they cannot swim, even though some of them swam. So we could see that people were not taking this seriously, but I can say that most of the people were actually following the rules. So I could see that they were not. So less people were actually swimming at that time. Yes, this is the river that I was talking about. So you can actually swim here if you want, but at the moment it's mostly because of it is autumn. So, and also the water got really cold. That could be one reason. The other reason is that it is really low. So in front of me I can actually see the bottom of the water. So the water level is not that high as it should be. And also I can see that there is like a strong current of the river flowing to the left. So yeah, so you can actually swim here if you want, but it is not that it is like locals actually swim here, so but not during this time, like mostly during summertime. So yeah, so the river goes in that direction as well as the current. Yeah, and we were somewhere in that direction, the Lanyon Homestead. Yeah. And as you can see, water is really low, so, and also it might be cold, so these are the two reasons why people are not swimming here. This is the first video of a real Australian walking track, which we have actually done a part of it in 2023 as we think, but yeah, because we remember some of this stuff. Here you can actually learn a lot about Australia, the Austrian Capital Territory, what was the original plan of the ACT border, and what time each border has been opened between the Austrian Capital Territory and New South Wales, which is actually really good to understand more about Australia, since Austria has a lot of history, and I have taught a part of it from Cairns. Yeah, so at the beginning, like when we came back from Cairns to Canberra Airport, we have felt that it was much colder than in Cairns. Yeah, so yeah, it was a bit funny that to feel a coldness again, like after that heat. I mean, not the heat, the humidity, like it was almost 100% humid, and also the heat because of the forests and the ocean. Because here, even though like Canberra is in a valley, so every direction there is like a big mountain, such as Taibinbil or Namadgi mountains. In the southeast we have these two mountains where we are at now, and then in north we have another one, and on the west we have the that is goes from a long way until Victoria, that is the Great Divider Range. And also this science shows some like Aboriginal stuff, so what the Aborigines used, like fruits or animal fur. So yeah, so it was really good to actually feel another, like the coldness, like after that heat. Like for us that 5 days heat was more than enough, and then we were so happy to actually come back and feel this coldness too. But then we also miss that heat, that we can't walk in just a t-shirts and shorts. We have to wear long pants, and for now it is okay for like a light jumper, but later on, some months later, coat will be needed. So yeah, because during the days it gets maximum of 10 degrees Celsius. So this is currently the Namadgi Visitor Center. Yeah, and then there is like, and you can actually walk up to that big mountains over there. Yeah. So everywhere here in Canberra, if you see a walking track, and you can actually feel the peacefulness, so which is really good for us, like for people to actually, to feel this peacefulness after coming out from the big cities. So yeah, this part is not really peace or quiet because of the big road, I think it's called Nass Road, or the tourist drive number 5, that goes to more south and then exiting to New South Wales to Cooma. Yeah, so the tourist drive number 5. So here in Australia, every state/territory has its own tourist drives, meaning that if people come from another country or from another Australian city, then they can drive on these roads because they have a lot of sceneries or places where tourists can actually learn more about the city. And this is true to ACT, so I think, but I'm not too sure, but at least 10 tourist drives in Canberra or in the territory. So number 5 goes from Tidbinbilla until Namadgi, and then exiting ACT to NSW or New South Wales, and then you can go to Cooma. But you have to be careful because later on the tourist drive number 5 gets actually like a dirt road, So until I would say around from here, from the Namadgi Visitor Center, around 50 kilometers, it is sealed. But after that, there is like dirt road where you can actually drive, but you have to be careful because more rocks can damage your windscreen. So yeah, so you have to be more careful around those places. But this is true to every country in the world. So even in Europe, there are some places where we have dirt roads. In the US as well. In Africa, yeah, there are a lot. In South America, they have a lot as well. Here in Australia, there are some, not all of them, but some. So yeah, so yeah, so that's why I really like this peacefulness here, like everywhere in the because Canberra is really like so separated. So like if you go out from the city center, and each district you see were all like small cities that were made by the Aboriginal people, and then they were all united to make Canberra. And each district has their own like city center, which has like a big shopping center, or smaller, it depends on which district. And then if you go from out there, you can actually feel the peacefulness again. So in Sydney or Melbourne, you couldn't really do this, like it is so crowded, and there are no parks like here, or you have to go really far from the city center to actually find walking tracks there, or go even far away from Sydney to actually find